Right, if start bench drop, because everyone's they've been crying for it. All right, cool. This is different ones, diverse. Okay.
Yeah.
Start bench drop. John Duran, Enric, Victor Roque. The one from
Oh,
Barca is at Real Betis now.
yeah. I'm starting John Duran. I've obviously watched a bit more of him because of the Premier League. So yeah, I'll start John Duran. Um, I don't know. I like that Victor Roque. I really do like him, and he's similar to R9 in a way. I think he's kind of modelled his game a little bit off of R9. So I'll probably go. I know this might be controversial, but I'll have him better on the bench, and then Endrick. To me, I don't know whether it's all hype. I don't know whether it's all
Ooh.
hype with Endrick, but we'll have to see it. Like I said earlier on, football's about opinions, and
Yeah.
my opinion is I've seen John Duran, I've seen Roque, and
Yeah.
Endrick isn't very impressive to me.
Oh. All right. Start bench drop for me. I'm going to start John Duran as well again. Because obviously we see him more close up Premier League stuff like that, and yeah, the goals he's scoring, like especially towards end of last season and this season, very very good goals. So shout out to him. I'm going to bench Enric, uh, just for the fact that last part, Palmeiras, is that what they were called? Palmeiras, that's the team, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah. Obviously, I watched a few of the highlights when he was in the Brazilian league and was balling out. Obviously, getting called up to the national team at 17, scoring goals as well. And the fact that he went to Real Madrid and he's already scored for Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. So yeah, man, I'm gonna bench him. And then Victor Roque. I like him. I think he's got all the attributes to be a top player. I just want to see more, and that's the only reason why he's gonna get dropped. Start bench drop. Savio, Man City. Yamin Lamau, Nune Madueke.
oh, that
That's
is a
tough.
tough one. Yeah, that is a tough one. Um, I like that Savinho. I think Mahrez even put up a
Yeah.
story. Did you see that story
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he
yeah.
said like copy and paste or something like that?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I like Savinho a lot. Yesterday, he really impressed me. So, um, oh, this is tough.
It's tough.
I mean, Lamine Yamal, because of what he's achieved at such a young age, I think he's a starter for me.
Yeah.
Um, this is a bias, I think, and I'm gonna have Noni Madueke as a bench. There's so much potential he has. I think the only thing that's he's down for is he wants to be that man so much. He wants to be that big man so much at this moment in time. He wants to be that main character.
Mm.
And I think he just needs to slow it down a little bit and just hone in some of the sort of techniques that he has, and then just get there in the next couple of seasons, and he can be that big guy for Chelsea. So yeah, I'll bench him, and then Savinho, I'll drop Savinho because yeah, I wasn't gonna choose a Man City player over Chelsea player.
Yeah, start bench drop for me. I'm going to start Yamin Yamal as well. I mean, come on, like the guy's just crazy. Like balling out for Barcelona at 16. Do you know what I'm saying? And then for Spain as well, 16, 17, like still doing your school exams is nuts, bro. And he's just got all the attributes, all the techniques, and I think he's gonna go all the way to the top. Going to bench Noni Madueke again. I like this guy, even though he's Chelsea. I really like him. I like his swag. I like how he plays the game. And I said to you before, like the fact he's starting to score left foot, right foot now. Um, and I do agree with you. Like he wants to be the man. You can see he wants to be the man, and because he wants to be the man, I could see him eventually, potentially leaving Chelsea because everyone in Chelsea could potentially be the man. Do you know what I mean? And some guys want to have their
Yeah,
own team and
yeah.
stuff. Um, but he's a really good player, man. And like you said, if he lets the game come to him, he's gonna go. He could go again as well. And I'm going to drop Savio, but that's not because of lack of quality. to be honest, I haven't seen much of his game other than the Man City. I wasn't really watching much of him in Spain last year, if I'm being completely honest with you. Um, Start bench drop. Nicolo Borella, Federico Valverde, Frankie De Jong.
Oh, that is tough. Um, I'm gonna start Valverde. I think what he's achieved at Real Madrid for such a short career there so far is
Yeah.
unbelievable. I know the Champions League are sort of given now at Real Madrid. They're sure to win a Champions League every sort of 2 seasons. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I think he's a very good player. He's very versatile. He can play in very much any position in that team. So yeah, I've been very impressed with Valverde. Um, I would, mm, I would bench De Jong. I'd bench De Jong because I know there's a player in there. I know he's had so many injuries. Um, but yeah, I would probably bench him. And then who else? Who was the other guy?
Nicolo Borella.
Yeah, Nick, I've been impressed with Barella. The certain performances for Italy that I've been very impressed with. But yeah, like I say, I haven't watched much of Italian football. I don't watch much of Serie A, so
Yeah.
I'd have to drop him for that
Yeah.
reason.
Start bench drop for me. Obviously, he's very big. Real Madrid fan here, so I'm gonna pick Valverde. And like you said, I think he can play any position on the pitch. Honestly, like the guy is so versatile, athlete. What I would want if I was building a football player. Um, and if he was allowed to be a bit more progressive, I think he'd have hella goals as well. Like, you know what I mean? He could score easily 18 goals a season, like no question about it. Engine of that Real Madrid team. Yeah, like you said, he's got. I think he's got like 3 Champions Leagues already, something silly like
Yeah.
that. Some
Mm.
nuts, man. Going to bench. It's tough. It's tough, Eve. Ooh, going to bench. Nico Barella. I'm gonna bench Barella. I just like the fact that he can progress the ball forward and stuff like that, and doing it for a big team. Even though they've been somewhat of a demise to Italian football, Inter's still a big team, and yeah, exactly for that Italian team as well has been born in that. And I'm gonna drop Frankie De Jong only because, like you're saying, like the injuries have like kind of hampered him and stuff like that. And like you're saying, there is a player there, um, due to come to the Premier League soon, man. So I'm looking forward to watching him play. Start bench drop Kobe Mainu, João Neves, Warren Zaire Emery.
Oh, this is a tough one. Um, I really like Kobe, man. I think the fact that yeah, I think I'm gonna start Kobe. For the fact that he just slotted into that United team so instantly. That his first game against Everton was a man of the match performance as well. So, and Man United aren't no small team either. So
Yeah,
the fact that he just slotted into that team was impressive. Also with England, he's been impressive. He came in and changed that whole course of the sort of knockout stages in the Euros. So yeah, I would start him, and I think there's a higher ceiling for him. I think he can go to the top really.
yeah,
Um, or I'm gonna bench Emre. Emre, I'm gonna bench him. I really like Emre. I think
mm,
he's a very good player. I think the game that stands out to me was that Newcastle game last season where he was very impressive in the Champions League. So yeah, I'll bench him. João Neves, I know he's an amazing player, and the stats have showed it this season already. But yeah, I kind of can't really have him over the other two
yeah.
really at this point.
Start bench drop for me. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna start Kobe Mainu, our fellow countryman. Like you're saying, breakout season last year, started balling out, scored big goals for United as well. He scored in the cup final.
Yeah, FA Cup
Yeah,
final.
yeah,
Yeah,
scored in the cup final. Yeah, obviously played for England in the Euros as well. Very impressive, very impressive him. And I think he's another one similar to a Declan Rice who, once he matures a bit and understands the game a bit more, can be more progressive box to box
yeah.
midfield instead of the holding. And he's shown he's got goals in his game as well. Going to bench. It's tough. It's tough. Going to bench. I think I'm gonna bench Jao Neves. I'm gonna bench Jao Neves. It's very tough though. This is slim margins, but I do like Jao Neves again, balling out for Benfica from a young age. Portugal national team as well, and yeah, they started off the season with flying colours, man. So shout out to him. And then Warren's there, Emery, through no fault that I'm dropping him. I just think the other two are slightly better, but I do think Zaire Emery has a higher ceiling than the other two. I just think as of right now, the other two have just been doing it better than him. Start bench drop. Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, Lautaro Martinez.
Oh, I think I might just have it that order. Yeah, Harry Kane is start for me. Just a goal machine.
Yeah,
Obviously, just had his 100th cap for England. Scored on scored on that 100th cap, two
yeah,
goals. And they were very good goals. They were just sharp shooter. Um, yeah, and then I'd bench Osimhen. Very disappointed that he didn't come to Chelsea this summer. But I think at Galatasaray, he's just going to get those numbers. He's going to get goals, and hopefully, in the season's time, he comes to Chelsea. And then Lautaro Martinez, I'm very impressed with him. I've been impressed with him for a couple seasons now. Um, I just don't know whether he just met his sort of level in terms of, I think he can go to another team and sort of. I think he could have an impact, but I think Inter's his team now, and I don't think he would
yeah,
move from Inter. So, yeah, I would just want him to show it on that international level, maybe a bit more, because
yeah,
every time I watch him at international level, he doesn't really show up or perform.
yeah. Team stacked though, innit?
Yeah,
Start bench drop for me. Yeah, again, I'm gonna start Harry Kane, man. Pretty self-explanatory. Scoring goals for fun in Bundesliga of England again is like you said, like 100th cap, and he scored it with a brace. Um, yeah, man, this guy, that's what he does. He scores goals, innit? And yeah, just a bagsman. Going to bench Victor Osimhen. I love this guy. I've loved this guy ever since he started the podcast. I've been telling people since 2021. I've been telling these people this guy's a guy. And yeah, disappointed that he never came to the Prem. Like you said, he's got that break clause in his contract for January. I think it's 75 million. So the release clause and that has all been restructured. Went to Galatasaray. I'm gonna try and go to Istanbul before January to try and watch a game of him out there, see what he's saying. Turkish league is coming up, man. Like they're getting
yeah.
some ballers there, innit? They are getting
Mm.
some ballers there. Shout out to them. And going to drop Martinez, I'm agreeing with everything you said. For Inter, he's the main guy. I think that's his club now until he decides to go elsewhere. Um, but I just have the other two ahead of him, and that's through again, we're picking really, really good players here, so this is fine margins. Start bench drop. Ollie Watkins, Luis Openda, Victor Corcoles.
Oh, oh, this is a tough one.
I picked, yeah, had to choose,
Yeah,
man.
this is a tough one. Oh, yeah, I'm starting Watkins. Just like for a lot of them, it is because we're Premier League fans and we watch them week in, week out.
Yep.
Um, yeah, Ollie Watkins, the last sort of year or so, he's just been very impressive. Really has taken his game to the next level. And yeah, would like to. I mean, Villa's a massive club, but I do think he could go maybe to say at Arsenal, where he's a dream club. He's the boyhood club for him. So I'd like to see him at Arsenal. So yeah, I think Ollie Watkins has been amazing over the last season. So I'll put him there. Um, Bench Victor Gokares. I think at Coventry he was very impressive, but I wasn't too sure on him. And the fact that he's gone to Sporting Lisbon now, and sort of got the numbers that he has, even last season, but even the start of the season this year has been very impressive. So, would like to see him in the Premier League. I know Brighton had him previously, but yeah, we'll
Commentary as
have to
well,
see.
right?
Yeah, he was at Coventry two seasons back, and he was impressive there. But I thought that was his sort of level. But yeah, he's taken to another level
Yeah,
in Sporting Lisbon.
yeah.
Um, and then Openda, I really like Openda. I watched him a lot for Red Bull Leipzig last season. Also with Belgium in the Euros, he was very impressive off the bench. But yeah, other than the other two guys, I really can't put them. I can't put him over those two guys, man.
Start bench drop for me. I'm actually gonna start Lois Openda.
Mm,
I liked him when he was in the French league. Made the move to like you said, Leipzig, and he's just been balling out there as well. He's another one who he's gonna make a move to the Prem most likely, if not like a top tier team in either Spain or Italy. I reckon. Very much like his game, and I think he has all the attributes to be a top player. I'm going to bench Ollie Watkins. Been a fan of this guy for time. And I saw it early on in his Aston Villa career. I said, "Oh, this guy's got the attributes to be like a guy. He just needs to get the right manager to do it for him." And he has. Emery, installed the confidence into him, getting him in the right positions, and he's scoring goals for fun. Whether or not he makes that move, like I said, I'd love him to join at Arsenal, but what's the price tag? I know he's recently signed a new deal, and if Villa are to kick on, especially with this coach, they're gonna have to keep players like him. So, if anything, they're probably gonna lose Duran, I reckon.
yeah,
And then Victor Coquelez, scoring goals for fun in Portugal, but it's always going to be that slight, isn't it? Of he's doing it in Portugal, he's not doing it in one of the top 5 leagues, which is a shame, unfortunately. But yeah, man, big fan of his as well. A couple more ETH. I got one. I could do it for Bants, but I don't know if the audience will appreciate it. You know what? Let's do it. Fuck it for Bants. Start bench drop. Mudrick, Anthony, Richarlison.
oh. I think you've got to start with Charlison. I think he's sort of his Premier
Oh,
League record for Everton anyway, and Watford was very impressive.
oh gosh.
Yeah, there was potential there for Richarlison, but I don't know where that's really gone. He obviously plays really well for Brazil. He shows up every time that he plays for Brazil, but for Tottenham, it just hasn't seemed to ever got rolling, which is unfortunate because I really do like Richarlison. But yeah, he out of those three, he's starting for me, or two. I mean, um, oh, this is tough. I mean, Anthony's probably achieved more than Mudryk in his career, so I'd have to say Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony's at Ajax was he won leagues at Ajax. Had a few good seasons there,
he's a Brazilian
and
international.
a Brazilian international, as you say. Yeah, so I think I think you've got to put him as a bench, and then Mudryk. So disappointed with Mudryk. So,
Yeah,
the fact that obviously Arsenal were involved in that sort of discussion as well, and Chelsea pipped them to it. I was really excited about that. Really thought we had someone on our cards, and then he just never has really got there. He
yeah,
showed glimpses of that potential, but he's one of those players that just doesn't think when he's playing. He just, I think it's instinct. I think it's sometimes, oh, should I take this dribble on? Should I do another skill? Should I do this? He doesn't think. He hasn't got that football brain, which is really
yeah,
bad to say because he is a footballer, but he doesn't seem to have that sort of knowledge yet. But yeah, we'll have to see in the next season whether he does improve a little bit more for Chelsea.
yeah. I know what you mean. Okay, start bench drop for me. I'm going to have to start Richarlison as well. Because he's done it in the Prem for both Watford and for Tottenham Hotspur. Not so much for Spurs, but and Everton as well. Sorry, and for Everton as well, he's done it as well. So yeah, at Everton, I really thought, yeah, this guy, he can if he goes to a team, but he just went to the wrong team. If I'm being completely honest, because Spurs are Spurs, isn't it?
Mm.
Unfortunately, um, I'm going to bench, and it brings me no pleasure in benching him, but I'm going to bench Anthony. Because if I could, I'd drop both of these two guys. But I'm going to bench Anthony because one thing about Anthony, he's got self-imposed swagger, and he thinks he's the man. Fair play to him because you need it. You need it in this sport, baby. I'll tell you that for sure. But he has got the attributes. Like, but again, he's another guy because he kind of reminds me of like a Russell Westbrook.
Mm.
You know what I mean? In terms of someone who like don't get twisted, really good player, but it's like, yo, just do less or do what the coach is asking you to do. You've got guys that you should be passing the ball to. You don't have to do everything, you know? And I'm going to drop Mudryk simply because, like you're saying, like I think the Arsenal bidding war with Chelsea like drove the price up like at least 25 million more than he should be. That guy is not more than a 55 million player. So the fact he went for 90 odd, core blimey. And part of the reason I think Raheem Sterling left Chelsea is because of someone like him who also plays on the left side, and because he's a young player, they're probably thinking there's more upside, and if the right coach manages to get him to do what he wants to do, there's a player in there, and if anything, they can just sell him. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think their goal is for him, but. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to drop him. Someone off for the duo Eds, my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan, and start bench drop. Shout out to everyone that's been following us. Keep on commenting, good, bad, or ugly. Shout out to everyone on the Instagram follows, YouTube. You can find us, Our League Podcast, everywhere, all the streaming platforms, and that's it. We're out. Peace, people.